Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Tara Angelica Tarot. I am doing a full moon in Capricorn reading for this Cancer season. I'm just trying to tap in to see what energies might be presenting itself. And full moons are usually the end of a cycle, and we are moving into a new cycle as this full moon in Capricorn energy. This energy is ending for this moon cycle. We're going to be going into something new, which you can see here. First of all, the central card of the readings, we got Ten of Wands and the Fool, that does signify letting go of burdens and a new beginning. And here, crowning the reading, we have Four of Wands with the Queen of Cups. So I'm going to kind of jump right into what I feel is happening here with the overall energy for those of you watching this reading. To start here, we have the King of Pentacles, and it's kind of interesting because I got King of Pentacles here, I got King of Wands here. I mean, I just got all of the kings, and we got King of Swords, and the outcome here, it was King of Cups. I even got King of Cups here, or not there, right here. So I pulled, and this is a very divine masculine reading. And I think there's a reason for that. Capricorn's, the sign itself, I mean, that's the sign of the zodiac. It's successful material. There's materialism. It's hardworking. It's an earth sign. It's long-term projects, things that we plan and take very cautious. Whatever we take a cautious, practical approach to in our lives. That is what Capricorn really represents, is cautious, methodical planning and careful action. It represents the material world. It's success. It's money, prosperity, abundance, all of those things, and very much really represents long-term planning in the material world. So overall, what I'm really getting from this, and we have the underlying energy here. I got the Ace of Pentacles, and then from the cards I used to clarify, I got the Ace of Cups, which makes sense. So I'm feeling like we're moving from this, with this full moon in Capricorn, this material earth-based energy into, and it being in the Cancer season, because the full moon, it's in Capricorn, obviously it's opposed the sun in Cancer, which is an emotional based sign, and that's a very nurturing, loving, giving sign. So these two aspects seem to be, I mean, during this time, it's about finding balance here. So, and it makes sense here with the King of Wands. I got Temperance over that, and that there may be some imbalance going on, and it's trying. These energies are trying to bring with this King of Wands. I'm not taking these cards as, and it can, for some, can mean significant people in your life. Here with the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the King of Wands. So, you have earth signs, you have air signs, and you have fire signs. And then here, of course, is the water signs with this, the King of Cups energy. But I'm seeing this overall as a kind of a divine masculine energy. Here we have crowning the reading, the Queen of Cups, which is the feminine emotional energy that, the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. But here I'm assuming this is representing the Cancer. The moon is in opposition to the sun in Cancer. So and that is this card represents stability and harmony, and us trying to harmonize and balance here. And with King of Wands being kind of the spiritual, passionate, inspirational king of the tarot, us kind of coming into balance with the physical and mental and spiritual. And it's kind of like what I'm getting overall is, if you notice up here in the beginning, there is kind of a lack of this feminine energy. There's a lot of masculinity here. So I mean, what I'm getting from this is we're kind of living in a time where the divine feminine has really been kind of set aside. Us allowing ourselves to kind of go into that heart space, into our emotions. We are kind of in this period of time, you know, women are expected to go out in the workforce. They're supposed to behave like a man, but also, you know, take care of the kids, but also have a job and take care of the home. And it is a very masculine driven society that we live in, and there's kind of not the divine feminine has kind of been lost in the process. And the divine feminine, by what I mean by that, the divine feminine is soft, gentle, giving, nurturing. It is, you know, it's kind of the space, and we all have the divine masculine and feminine within us. And whether you're male or female, you have both aspects within you. And society has kind of put the divine masculine on a pedestal and kind of left the divine feminine as, you know, and it's a stable, harmonizing energy. It's kind of been put on the back burner, so to speak. Like it's not, society doesn't value, I think, that sacred wisdom that the divine feminine can bring in, because you know, the masculine is very action oriented and is the part of ourselves where we're out in the world doing things, and we're, you know, very, it's very action, very driven, and you know, with Capricorn, that makes a lot of sense. That we're kind of stuck too much in that energy, where you know, the divine feminine is this receptive, gentle, kind, loving, wise nature. It's the receptive part of ourselves, and I think that's been kind of left or forgotten in a lot of ways. And so I really think this full moon in Capricorn is because it's okay. So you have the Five of Cups here over the King of Pentacles, and that is a card about loss. It's a kind of about what we have lost through this energy, as we're completing the cycle with this full moon in Capricorn, kind of coming to this realization that of what we have lost or left behind, or what we need to leave behind. And we have these Two of Cups, which is a twin flame, or, you know, it could be a twin flame, soulmate, love relationship. The Two Cups is really about union between the, you know, the lovers, but in this particular reading, it's kind of looking at what we've lost and not forgetting what is still there for us in the process. So it's not turning our backs, and it's like we're forgetting this aspect of ourselves, this loving aspect of ourselves, and kind of focusing on what we've lost. And what we've lost is this divine feminine, this more receptive energy within us, this harmony, this stability. That's what the Four of Wands is being grateful and finding harmony in our lives. And so here we have the King of Swords, which I feel like represents our mental bodies. And then we have kind of this enterprise and having foresight and using, and we're diving so much into our minds, trying to plan and for our careers, for our families, for our futures. And then we come into the spiritual energy, this King of Wands. It's like forcing us to find balance with this opposition between the Sun and the Moon, between Capricorn and Cancer. It's bringing this balance, spiritual balance, this passion, this inspiration back to us, and then starting this new beginning, and kind of having to start over and go back into maybe in this planning stage, because there are aspects that we have forgotten. If we're planning projects, it is about the material, the mental, and that pure, passionate energy that we have, but we can't forget to take the time here with this Page of Cups. This is a new emotional beginning. It's a new start for us emotionally, and kind of going back to this planning stage to kind of see what is coming in for us on an emotional level, and not forget about that when we're planning our relationships and for our futures. Moving into the future is not forgetting to kind of go back into that heart space when we're trying to make plans and trying to, whether it's regarding our careers or family, whatever it is regarding for you personally, kind of taking a step back, and then it's like the universe is stepping in to force us into this balance, to have this new beginning. Yes, we've had foresight and we've had a lot of growth. However, it's kind of about going back to this planning stage and not forgetting to take time to include this there's these messages here about um, our heart and what our heart centered truth is, about following our heart. And I think that's kind of what we forget sometimes in this journey, in this really masculine driven world, is that we forget sometimes to follow our hearts. And I think going back to the planning stages and including that in our reality, that's so important. And here, I mean, it's showing up here too. We got the High Priestess, and that's our intuition. It is our higher guides, our higher spiritual self. And we have our spiritual guides too. And this is the card of collaboration. It's teamwork. It's working with others. So Three of Pentacles. And that could have to do with kind of going back into the stage where we're kind of trying to collaborate more with our higher selves, with our spiritual guides. Bringing in this teamwork and tuning in to our intuition to get the guidance we need to be able to collaborate, to have that teamwork with the higher part of, with our higher selves as well. Not just kind of being so driven in the material world that we forget to tune in spiritually and realize there is a deeper connection there. And people, spiritual guides, our intuition, our higher selves, whatever you want to call it, that's there to that we can collaborate with to get guidance on our path forward. And here we have King of Cups, and here we also have that same card there, the Five of Cups, with the King of Cups over that. You know, this is about kind of letting go of that loss. Whatever we feel like, you know, any regrets, any sorrows we have, and kind of moving into this calmer, more loving King of Cups energy, this Cancer moon. You know, we are moving into that. We have this opposition here of the material and the emotional. That makes sense that that's showing itself that way here. And then we're here with the King of Cups, with the Knight of Cups. And Knight of Cups is an offering of love. It's how do we give love to others? What are we doing maybe in our lives? And maybe that's what the focus needs to be, is taking this, whatever your plans are and your ambitions are for your career, for your family, whatever it may be. And kind of with the Knight of Cups, it's about giving back to others. You know, it's not so much about just ourselves. It is about how can we take these energies and give back to other people, give love to other people, people in our lives that need our nurturing and our loving wisdom that we have to offer them. We all have that to offer other people. So it really is about giving that back to the world around you, and that love and that healing, whatever sorrows or losses you have, taking that energy and turning it into something positive and giving it to other people, being of service to other people. And so for the advice I got here, I got restore and replenish, and then I got coherence. And coherence, the frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for optimal ability to create the reality we desire. So yeah, I mean, here with coherence, it talks about harmonizing our hearts and our minds. And restore and replenish really does too. I mean, it's about being so much, you're living in this physical world. It's about putting down the pen, the paper, closing the computer, turning off the cell phone. It is about taking that time to go back into that heart space and figure out what is your heart trying to tell you. It's about following your heart, and it's about getting to that heart space, that place within you where you're getting, it's not just so much about the mind. It's, you know, this is about harmonizing both. So you don't want to just have logic when you're making your decisions in your